Welcome to VC Brown Books, where we like to get weird about words in the ways that only writers can, by talking about writing them and by writing them. And tonight, we are going to do some live writing sprints while Sako and I work on our collaborative book project that we have been doing from inception to the zero draft that we are on now, right now. And so basically, that's what we're doing tonight in a nutshell. So I want Sako to go ahead and introduce herself.
Howdy, howlers. I'm Sako Tumi, also known as Voit, also half of the duo that is Victoria Fun Rock. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. So if you are looking to market yourself as an author, or you are looking to be a witchy or witch, please drop by my channel. I would love to see you.
And if you want to be a weirdo witchy witch, then you drop by here.
Yes.
Monday, you drop by here on Thursdays, and then on Mondays you drop by Sako's channel, where we do this all again on Mondays. So basically, y'all know what's going down. We are going to do writing sprints on a semi-regular basis, depending on how much our conversation gets sidetracked and off the rails a little bit. But we are going to at least try to get 2, maybe 3 writing sprints in. And if we're really lucky, we might be able to do 4. Yeah, 4. There, here we go. 4.
Maybe 4.
Maybe, yes. 4. Here. Yes. If you do it this way, it means 4.
Do it this way.
So if y'all can't tell, I'm a little sleep deprived and a little highly caffeinated at the moment. So that means it's going to be really weird. So what I am going to be working on tonight is we are going to do things a little differently. Normally on Thursdays, I write in the zero draft of Project Flambeau, which is Sako and my's collaborative book that we have been doing on these live streams for all of you, with all of you, and for ourselves, and with all, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Anyway, so normally I do that on Thursdays. However, we got a little off track last week when I missed Thursday night for streaming because life and crappy happens from time to time. So I made that up on Sunday. I wrote on Sunday, and then I also wrote on Monday a little bit so I could finish up the scene, which is normally Sako's night to write. But so she's going to write tonight.
Yes.
I am going to do whatever the hell I feel like doing. If you feel like writing, that's fantastic. If you feel like drawing, that's fantastic. If you want to get up and sing and do the hokey pokey, that's fantastic too. Clean your house, pet your cats, eat, shove things in your food hole, whatever you need to do is what we're going to be doing tonight. It is all about the productivity and getting together as a weirdo writing community just to chat and have fun. That's what we're doing. Sako, do you mind? Because again, I am still down to 1 monitor right now with my laptop until I get my little switchy poo or I decide to get like a second monitor for my laptop or something. Do you mind doing the lovely timer for us this evening?
20 minutes?
20 minutes sounds good to me. So what is everybody working on tonight? I would really like to hear what you're planning on working on tonight, where you're at in the process, how you're feeling about it. How the hell is your nano going? Are you even doing nano? I mean, or are you like nano rebelling? Lots of people are like nano rebelling right now. Sako and I are not technically. We're unofficially nanoing with Project Flambeau.
Yeah, and I'm technically working on a book, but I'm like super behind, so.
Yeah, well, that happens. I mean, it totally happens. I am unofficially nanoing because we're doing Project Flambeau together, but I am also working on my second draft for my 3rd book in my Paranormal Mysteries series, which 2 books are out currently, and I am so hella behind on getting the 3rd book actually drafted and edited and out for you all to enjoy in the universe. Like hella behind. So I have been hitting that as hard and fast as I can. Again, I'm only on my 2nd draft for it, so that means it's still got to have, at least for me, 2 more drafts after the 2nd draft, because that's what I almost always do is 4 drafts. So we have some lovely people here joining us this evening, and it is fantastic to have faces of my weirdos that I love so much. We have Ms. Debbie Renow, world-renowned comic artist and writer in the house, and also badass avatar. I still love the avatar. Every time I see it, it's that shock of purple that I just love. I don't like the purple in my office. I don't like the stupid purple walls in my office. Love the badass purple in the avatar, however. All right. There's such a thing as like, there's princessy purple, like my office back here, and then there's badass purple.
Yes.
Those are the differences. And it is not a writing stream if Devin Cutting is not here. Mr. Cat himself is here. And basically, if you ever want to know if there is a writing stream happening, message Devin.
Yeah.
Like, he knows all, he sees all, he streams all simultaneously sometimes. Most of the time, as a matter of fact. And he bounces from back. He's like the world-class. Devin, you are the world-class multitasker for Authortube.
Yes.
And if I'm ever bored and don't know what's going on, I just figure out where the hell Devin is, because he's probably on a writing stream somewhere. I love it. All right, we got the pronoun I in the house tonight. Hello, pronoun I. I have weirdos without an I. Fellow Brown taking over the world, because that's what we do. Jennifer Brown in the house. I'm also really caffeinated. Okay. Pronoun I is going to be reading and taking some notes tonight, which is always good. I probably should be doing that during my sprints because I have some studying to do for my HR certifications that I gotta do in like a month and a half. And I really should be studying because it's really dense stuff. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna do stuff that I enjoy tonight. I'm gonna write. Oh,
God forbid.
I know, it's crazy. I've been studying like every night practically. I didn't study for very long last night because I wanted to pop in and surprise everyone at the sleepover.
Yes.
Bunny Phillips Wrights is in the house. One of my favorite weirdos in the world. And the lovely Spence calling us all lovely. Love the hat and the mask in the picture. It's so cute. Debbie is technically doing nano, but not aiming for 50,000, only aiming for 20,000, which is very reasonable.
That's legit.
Yeah, that is legit. Because sometimes you're just, like you decide to just keep working on a project you've already been working on, and you're like, well, I'm not going to get 50,000 words because it doesn't freaking need 50,000 words.
I usually get about 15,000 before I'm like, I quit out.
For nano?
For nano. Like, yeah. Whenever I fail, like at least I have 15,000 words on the document. Like I've done pretty well for a number of years with nano and being able to do the 50,000 words. But then sometimes I'm doing the 50,000 words, but it's between like multiple projects. So like I guess it's not technically, but I don't care. I don't care because I don't think a nano, like lots of people are like, you're only supposed to do like one project at a time on nano. I was like, why? Oh, whatever.
I was like, why? I got 3 projects that need to be worked on. I should just spread the word count and spread the love, kind of a thing. So,
indeed.
Yeah. Everybody's nano experience is so different. It's like there are those of us who do all of Preptober and we like really buckle down and, and then there are those of us who kind of wing it. We got an idea what we're doing. And then there are those of us that November 15th, we decide to start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Kind of a thing. So Jennifer is super behind in nano, so gave up. It's more important for me to get my book out sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I totally get you. Quality over quantity.
Yes, it is very much the quality over quantity. Yeah, that's the words. Those are the words. It's very much the quality of the writing versus the quantity of the writing, which is one thing that bothers me about nano. I love the concept of nano and it being a super community and it just being like a highlight for authors and for writing and for kind of showing people that you can write that book and it doesn't have to take forever.
Mm-hmm.
but I also think it can place a little too much stress on the word count.
Mm-hmm.
And that you just kind of sometimes churn out crap that normally you wouldn't have done. You might have taken
La la la. This is the thing that I am typing right now. La la la.
You might have taken like half a brain cell more in like 2 or 3 more minutes to make that sentence slightly tighter.
Yeah.
And think about it a little bit longer than just tossing it out there. So, yeah. Spence, Devin Cunning, also known as Sir Devin of Twok. That guy with all the links.
I like it.
Although it's very close to another word, and that I would have YouTube be like, shut down the stream. So I will refrain from saying it, even though it is one of my favorite words. I hate that YouTube has started doing that lately. Like, my content and my whole channel is not marked at all for kids. Like,
I have mine restricted. I have mine like full on restricted.
Yeah. And yet, like, all of a sudden, if we say one naughty word, like, within the first 15 minutes or so, they're just like, cut the feed. Can't do it. They've just become, I don't know.
Oh.
They've been terrible about it. So Devin, that guy with all the links, that guy with all the streams, at 3 streams right now. Because Thursday has become, from what I understand, the night of streaming. Like, it used to be like Wednesday nights was solid booked for streams. And now it suddenly has become like a lot more Thursday night streams, which, I don't know, is kind of weird to me. So, like, it used to be pretty light. A couple of us, would like stream at the same time. But then most of the time you were just like, I got nothing else singing. I'm going to have to write all down my lonesome. All right. So Spence is at 2, 1 here in Austin, and also on Austin's Twitch, because she's playing Among Us. Oh, I love Among Us with Mr. Spence. Oh, Among Us is so good. I mean, I don't play video games. I love to watch them. Like their movies. Like, I love to watch people playing them. And then I'm like, I get so mad at my partner when, like, he'll start a new video game or whatever, and I'll start, I'm doing other stuff in the background and half watching it. But if he plays when I'm not there and he gets, like, bits of the story, and I come back and I'm like, you played without me and now I'm missing the story. He's like, I'll just sum it up real quick for you. I was like, it is not the same. First of all, he's a terrible, like, summarizer. Yeah, he's terrible at it. He's like, well, this is what basically happened, like XYZ nutshell, no details, no, and I'm like, I want the story, damn it. That's why I watch this crap. It's like, otherwise I have 0 interest in video games.
Yeah.
Christina, this is one of my longtime weirdo friends. He is an amazing person, amazing mom, amazing friend, amazing special education teacher. She's one of my friends and one of my original D&D groupers. From all the way back when I owned a game store 15, almost 20 years ago now.
Dude.
I mean, it was like 15 years ago that I stopped owning it, or 9 years ago, 10 years ago, whatever, that I stopped owning it. But yeah, anyway, so she's one of my original D&D groupers. When I first got started DMing, she had to, like, deal with me figuring shit out. And they were always the best games, though, like the best. I miss my Illinois group.
Oh,
Spencer saying watching them play is delightful. It's fun. Delightful. Yeah, if I have to, like, watch my partner play games, like, with other people, and, like, then it's not quite so interesting for me. Like, if he's doing a single player game, those are the ones that I want to watch.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that whole sprint thing.
Okay.
I'm apparently going to rescue another one of my skeletons, which has decided to launch itself off the windowsill. This is the second one now. Like, my skeletons are committing suicide, y'all.
Oh no.
One of my kiddos wasn't interested in reading by themselves until they started watching me play Breath of the Wild. They wanted to play it by themselves, and so we played together, sounded out the words. Aww.
That's really cool.
It's true. Oh, she is correcting me. She is the second generation group. She started out as Chick. Because you weren't the second generation group. You just joined the group later than everybody else. Yeah. So you're still the first generation group that I ran for of D&D. Anyway, okay. So let's go ahead and bring up the 20-minute timer. So we'll sprint starting in
3, 2, 1. Kabling!
mutant shit.
Beady dee beady dee beady dee beady dee.
Sorry, I went down the rabbit hole of research. It was just like la 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 la.
Yeah, I'm in the research rabbit hole myself.
Yeah, it was just like, because I was going along, I was like, da, 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 I'm doing good. Hit this whole section from the first draft of just like beginning in parentheses and ending in parentheses. It was like 12 lines of this needs to happen, research this so that you know how it happens. This needs to happen following that, research it so that you know that it can follow that. And then it was a couple of books like, don't forget, you already established this in book 1. So continuity, world continuity, blah, 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 blah. And then I was like, okay, well, now I got to go back and look at that because all I made a note was you established this in book 1. It's on page blah, blah, blah.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, hey, I got to go back and look at that. So I went and looked at that. And then like towards the end, well, I guess middle-ish to end-ish, I was like, I'm starting to get a little bit of a headache, even with my blue blocker lenses, you know, and everything. I was like, I'm starting to get a little bit of a headache. I was like, oh, maybe I should like, because my laptop is mostly in dark mode except for my actual Chrome. Like everything else is in dark mode except for Chrome. So I was like, oh crap, I should just go get a dark mode extension, you know, for Chrome and see if it updates. And then it like temporarily broke some things. So I was like, oh, fix it. I was surprised it didn't like totally kick StreamYard out, but it finally, everything is now updated for dark mode.
Love the dark mode.
Mm-hmm. The dark mode is the best. Okay, so that said, even though I fell down the rabbit hole and got sidetracked because highly caffeinated, lack of sleep, and ADD do not go well together, I did manage to get 634 words on my second draft for the third book. So I was pretty happy. How about you? How'd you do?
Probably 100 words, but I fell down the rabbit hole of how ICE agents use intimidation tactics to try and bust and deport people. So
people,
yeah. So if I'm gonna write ICE agents, I want to be legit. I want to be accurate.
Yeah.
Right. So.
Yeah, there are tons of I mean, there's tons of research out there about their intimidation tactics and things that they use against
what your rights are,
things like that.
Yeah.
A really good source would be Antifa. Any material that they've put out.
I'm sure.
That's my go-to for like immigration rights and DACA rights and, you know, like stuff like that. I mean, they do a ton of other stuff, of course, you know, BLM and Native American and Indigenous rights and allyship and accompliship and things like that. But like when it really comes to like immigration rights and then even just natural citizen rights too, like they know some of the really finite details. So sorry if you're not particularly a supporter of Antifa to anybody that's out there, but I support anti-fascism and I support the group. So group, and I use that term very loosely since it's not actually a group.
It's not actually a group.
Not actually a group, not an organization, not anything specific. It's just a bunch of people that...
Just a label.
Just a label. A bunch of people hold the same beliefs. It's just people who hate fascism. They stand up against it. Some of us do it in different ways.
Yeah.
So that was cool, though. I like the making sure that we have as much authenticity as possible going into Project Flambeau. And doing our due diligence with our research. I don't know if I had told you or not, but I have a new coworker. Well, my new job. I have a coworker who is fluent in English and Spanish.
Nice.
And she is going to look over any of the Spanish that I've been using in the book and make sure it's used properly and stuff like that. And she said she would love to do a sensitivity read for us as a Latina.
Great.
She's like, I'm not that old. I'm not that far out of teen, years. She's like, I mean, I am a little bit. I'm like 24, but she's like, at least I'm a younger Latina, and I know what it's like growing up Latina. And I was like, that's perfect.
It's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. How did everybody else do? Were you able to work on what you wanted to work on? Were you able to focus? Were you not able to focus?
Yeah. How'd you guys do?
Like, tell us. Give us information. Input, please.
RACES is a good organization to look at for immigration rights. They're lawyers supporting detainees.
That is good. We will look into that. Thank you for that information, Christina. Appreciate it. Let's see. Spence is saying that they are loving the gaming going on between Mr. Spence and Austin's Twitch. I just love Austin. Austin is amazing. So if y'all aren't following Austin K, I am pretty sure I have their information down below. I'm pretty sure they prefer she pronoun. I haven't asked, but I am pretty sure. So she, I think, is linked down below. If she's not, it's Austin K, and it's Kaye. So you should go check that out. She's an awesome authortuber that does writing sprints on a regular basis. So Spence is going to fall asleep on the couch. It's so soothing to just have them playing video games against each other via Twitch. I'm not a video gamer, but I do go on Twitch a lot to watch video games. Oh, speaking of Twitch, this is totally off topic, but it's fun as fuck. My partner just discovered, because he does like white hat hacking, which if you're not familiar with if people out there aren't familiar,
I wrote a book about it.
Yeah, I was like, about it. White hat hacking are hackers who hack with good intentions to either reveal and release corrupt information from corrupt officials and things like that.
Or security.
Or they do it for security purposes, which is what my partner does because he does cybersecurity. So that means that he will hack a network for a business to see where their weaknesses are so that they know how to shore up their private data so that either client information doesn't get out there or financial information doesn't get out there and stuff like that. Things that companies like Wells Fargo and places like that have all these data leaks all the time and really should be hiring more white hat hackers. Yep, really should. So he was saying that he discovered on Twitch there is this amazing guy who's a white hat hacker, a hacktivist, whatever you want to call him, that scams phone scammers, the ones that call little old ladies and little old men and try and get them to go get gift certificates
or reverse mortgages.
Things like that. So anyway, and he's got like these sound effects and he's like he usually pretends to be a little old lady. And like he has these amazing, hilarious as shit conversations with these phone scammers. And he's got all these sound effects about like, all right, I'm going to get the gift cards right now. I'm getting in the car. And like he's got a soundboard from like a little old lady driving to the store and having store sounds and everything going on around her, checkout sounds, like crazy stuff. The last several days, my partner has just been losing his shit laughing at this guy and his Twitch streams. If I find out what the name is, I will figure it out. But I'm sure you can probably Google Twitch hacktivist phone scammers or something. I'm sure you could probably find it somehow. But like he even in some of the videos, he wears like these aviators and everything in the videos, but he's wearing like this little old lady granny wig. And he just improvs these phone calls like with these scammers. And he like has it set up so that when they remote in to like fix the little old lady's computer and stuff. Like it spoofs bank accounts, websites, makes it look like he's actually on a bank account and stuff like that. And then he goes in and he gets control of their computers and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so cool. It's so cool. Anyway, it's totally off topic, but it just made me.
And yet, is it?
And you know, it really isn't. Because we were talking Antifa and like that guy is shutting down bad guys right and left. Okay. Yeah. Precious Cousins is in the house. What's up, my writing weirdo? Glad to have you here. I think this might be the first time I've had you on my channel. If so, it is so good to see you. Debbie got 92 words in on the sprint, which is pretty good. It's a solid start. Good roll in for the first sprint, so love it. Pronoun I's brain did not want to follow through with the act of reading.
Oh.
I get you. I feel you. Sometimes you just can't read, no matter what that you want to or that you need to. Sometimes you just can't read. Yes, it is really a cool. It was really cool. I didn't get to like watch nearly as much, but all I know is my partner was losing his shit, and he's not an easy person to crack up. So,
yeah, my the opening scene in my book Hope's Chest is basically her breaking in, pretending to be grandma, breaking into a bank account of said grandson, and replicating transactions. So
awesome.
My dad basically taught me how to break into a bank.
Those are good dad skills. Those are good parenting skills right there. That's good parenting. Good parenting. Yeah. So speaking of Hope's Chest, y'all, you totally should go and check out Sako Tumi's book, Hope's Chest. It is now available at all fine establishments. Or what establishments?
Storyteller's Vault.
Storyteller's Vault, which is a fine establishment.
It is.
Okay, so specifically one fine establishment, but that's okay. That's totally cool. Pronoun, I was saying that it reminds them of the channel Jim Browning. He also catches scammers through hacking. I don't know that it could very well be that exact channel. I don't know. I guess, you know, he streams to Twitch, but he puts everything on YouTube too, which is what my partner was watching it on.
Gotcha.
He's not much of a Twitcher. So I am and I'm not. Like I go through these weird.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
Where I'm like, all the Twitch all the time. And then I'm just like, screw it. I got too much shit to watch on YouTube anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Usually, like, I got too much shit to watch on YouTube. I am still so far behind on just the hiatus I took while I was sick. And like, I haven't got caught up with Cancel Shawn Boston yet. I'm like a number of episodes behind. And like, it's making it hard to write my fan fiction for it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So, but yeah, and I've got so many live streams to get caught up on just because I want to know what was going on. Like, so I just missed, I feel like I missed a bunch of funness. I also missed a whole bunch of drama from what I understand, which is good. So,
Yeah, that was, yeah.
All right, so how are we feeling? Do we think we should do another sprint?
I have more ICE videos to watch.
Cool. All right, well, we'll do that. So we'll go ahead and get the timer. If you want to restart that timer for us, go ahead and get 20 minutes on the clock in
3, 2, 1. Do it.
beep, 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 beep. How'd everybody do? I did fuck all pretty much for the whole sprint. I got like 12 words. And then it was like pulling teeth to like figure out how to apply that research rabbit hole that I fell down the first time. Like trying to make it work. My Jenga was not doing the greatest. My Legos weren't quite stacking up. But other than that, and then I got distracted by the roommate. He came in to like see if we could borrow the Jeep, and was just like shitty chatting, and so I got like next to nothing done. How about you?
I am in the throes of planning out how the whole conflict will go. Now that I have information about how ice works.
In the shittiest way possible. Yes.
A lot of times, yeah.
Most of the time.
How violent can we get?
I think we can get damn violent.
Right? Exactly.
I think because so up till now, we've had very little like violence. I mean, even like everything has been an afterthought or it's been hinted at. I mean, the only real violence we've seen so far was the protest video and Justicia's getting arrested. And, you know, I even kind of subdued that a little bit. Which at some point, you know, I'll flesh it out. But
is that a thing? Is that a thing that we should like? Maybe we should involve the Antifa and BLM, not protests. There we go. So they weren't violent. They were.
I mean, some of the LA protests have gotten violent. And sometimes it has been, you know, like radical rogue BLM, etc., that have been caught doing it, but they've not gotten violent against people or even really against the cops. They've gotten, you know, they've just been torching property and doing stuff like that, which, you know, I figured that was kind of what we were going along the lines of with Justicia. You know, she identifies with Antifa and BLM and groups like that that are working on the side of justice reform and, you know, down with racism and like all that kind of good stuff. And that's kind of what I was thinking she was there doing, tagging that particular building, maybe with a message, you know, like a cab or, you know, something along those lines. So,
yeah.
So Audra was on a mission to get her dog to shit. Very worthy mission is what I told her. Our dogs shit so often that I wish they would just occasionally take a break. Like when you saw the service come out and scoop the yard and everything, but really they were doing a terrible job. So we ended up canceling them and started doing it ourselves for a little while until we could find a new service. And I just haven't gotten around to finding a new service yet. And so I've been doing it and I hate it. I hate cleaning the cat box. I hate cleaning up dog shit. Yeah. Shit is like my thing. You know, some people can't stomach like vomit or bile or, you know, urine or, you know, whatever. Shit's my thing. Can't do it. Can't change a baby's diapers. Yeah. Can't deal with it with humans. Look, it's my ick. It's my ick. I'm just loving the sound effects. I like to do a little dance with it when I do it, like some type of beep beep dance. Then we got 90 words in, which is pretty good. Just chugging along, same steady, solid pace, which is awesome. You know, because I went from like large amounts that first sprint to shit.
Yeah.
On that second one. So, yes, Precious Cousins. We are both writing the book together.
Yep.
So you can actually check out our either on Sako's channel or my channel. There are playlists on both of our channels with every video that we have done, every live stream that we have done. We came up with the idea for the book on the live stream. We talked through every possible plot point, subplot point, character development, character profiles, beats, you name it. We've gone through it on here, and now we are working on the zero draft. Sako was working on, she is logging words for tonight, and I am working on a totally separate project just off to the side. And then we'll flip and I'll work on it at another point in time. And then, usually it's on Mondays, Sako writes on it, and on Thursdays I write on it based on what channel we're on. But we got a little off schedule and we're trying to get caught back up. But we're loving it. People say they're loving it. We try and show lots of cool stuff.
Speaking of cool stuff to show.
Yes.
Dun, 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 dun. How do I send this?
Send it.
The illustration that I did, the pseudo cover.
Yes, the pseudo cover. I'm just gonna share. I'm gonna bring up Facebook real quick and share my single screen.
Oh, okay.
And then I can do that. Just let me log into Facebook. I just won't. I just can't do it when we're on sprints because I need my single screen to write.
Right.
Instead of sharing that screen. Computer is super slow because I have tabs open. YouTube and StreamYard at the same time, plus Facebook, plus Twitter. Maybe if I close Twitter, that would help. That made it a little quicker. Not a lot, but a little quicker. Yes, when you sent it, I was like, holy shit, I freaking love it.
Aw, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to share screen, so it's going to look really weird at first. This is the screen I want to share, even though it looks funky. Inception. Okay. Now, thanks to our very talented Sako Tumi / Voit / Victoria Von Rock, half of Victoria Von Rock, we have a prototype cover, working cover to go with our working title, Project Flambeau, and it is amazing. It is of our protagonist, Daisaku Watson, almost exactly how I pictured him. Very Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the prototype cover that is our working cover so that we have one more wonderful thing to look at when doing the book. Can everybody see it?
Yes.
Isn't it amazing? It is so cool. I love the little bits of fire that you got in his eyes and everything, all right here. And, he's just got, first of all, I fucking love Keanu Reeves. So anything with the Keanu Reeves vibe is I am down for. With the hair and beard, it's got that, the Reeves vibe. But I love, it's just perfect for representing Daisaku. It's just, I saw it. I must have I had to reopen it 6 different times, after I told you how much I loved it, just because I adore it.
Oh, yay.
I love the bit of messy's not the word that I'm looking for, but the
Texture?
Yeah, the textured colors behind and the accents on his hair and just perfect. So anyway,
I want to do one for Justicia too.
That would be awesome. I love that. That would be so cool. I'm totally down for it. Any playing that you want to do graphic design wise is amazing. So let's see. Pronoun I thinks it looks awesome. Precious Cousin thinks it looks awesome. Audra B also thinks it looks awesome. So yeah, I dig it. I love it. I love it.
It took a minute, but
I'm sure it did.
I think it paid off.
Yeah. Like I mean, good graphic design rarely is instantaneous. It's rarely like, I just got it right on the first try. Very rarely. That's unicornish.
Mm-hmm.
But like anything worth it usually takes like a minute to get it just exactingly the way that you want. And I liked how the J in Project like came down and hooked almost with the flambeau.
Yeah.
I liked that. I just was so excited. But yeah. Okay, so I think we should do another sprint.
I think now is a good time.
Now's a good time?
I think I might actually be able to write stuff.
I hope I can. But yes, I hope you can as well. So, but of course, you'll have more time with the story since Monday we'll go back to doing it the normal way where you would write.
Oh, okay.
If you want, or we can.
No, we can totally do that. If you're okay with me having a couple of extra days with the document, then.
Yeah, I don't mind, unless you're at a point where you're like, nah, I really set you up and I'd like you to take it over.
What might end up happening is I will flesh out the combat and then I'll leave you with the hospital.
Well, that'll work. I can deal with the emotional, like the emotional.
I especially like the way that you write Justicia.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I enjoy writing her. She's like, it's kind of easy to like tap into because I was, despite the fact that I was a really good kid, like I was, I didn't get into really that much trouble as a kid, but I was very willful. I was very rebellious. I was very like the antithesis of what I should be and what was expected of me. I can't imagine. Can you imagine? I mean, nobody could imagine it.
Yeah. I never would have thought.
But yeah, I mean, I was still a good kid. I was polite. I was, all of that stuff because I like to break expectations. The fact that I was this, dog collar, combat boots, spiked, like wearing black
German punk.
Yeah, like I was very like goth German punk. So people expected me to be angry all the time and to like be foul-mouthed. I was foul-mouthed, but I was also incredibly polite and like little old people loved me and like my mom used to get it all the time from her friends, and my mom is older, so her friends are older. And they, like my mom could have been my grandmother. Almost.
Mm-hmm.
But like people used to all the time say, how can you let her dress like that? How can you let her look like that? Aren't you worried what people think? She's like, have you ever heard her be rude? And they're like, well, no. They're like, she's like, exactly. I don't give a fuck what she's wearing. She's polite. She's pretty much a good kid, except for she's mouthy. And she very rarely breaks the rules other than like I would break curfew a lot. But that wasn't fair because my curfew was dusk.
Oh.
I had to be on the porch or in the driveway by sunset. Sunset in the winter, I wasn't even off of the bus coming home from school by the time the sun set in the winter. Yeah. And it's just like, well, I'm not going anywhere after school at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get in trouble just coming home from school because I've technically broken curfew.
Mm.
But anyway, yeah. So like, Debbie also thought awesome cover.
Oh, okay.
See? It's so cool. It's so cool. Precious Cousins was able to get 61 words in this time, which is good. Let's see if we can get some more words in for the night, and let's do another 20 minute.
Woo! In 3, and 2, and 1, and sprint.
Beep, 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 motherfuckers. All right. Everybody on the third sprint for the night, which will probably, well, I don't know, we might be able to squeeze in like one little tiny micro 10-minute sprint or something. Depending on how chat. Yeah. I did okay. I mean, I still had a lot of had to reference the research a lot to make that all flow, and it was kind of like pulling teeth a little bit, but
I understand that very well right now.
Yeah. I got about 277 words. So, well, not about 200. I got 227 words. So I'm not it's not terrible. I would have hoped for a little bit more. How about you?
So far tonight, I've only written 217 words, but I am researching what exactly Daisaku can do legally.
Okay. Yeah, that is very important.
In the state of bounty hunting in the state of California has very specific laws. Which
yes. Yeah, and I figure he's probably not licensed the entire United States kind of a thing, since I made him based out of Phoenix, just because I live here and it was easy to do. Plus it's drivable to LA, reasonably drivable to LA, and nobody's jumping on planes very much right now, so kind of a thing. Even though I kind of got the impression that maybe we're setting this at the first of the year, or ish.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, just based on
it'll be helpful when we get into revisions and stuff to do a timeline.
But I was kind of figuring that we were setting it kind of based towards the beginning of the year, before the virus really took off too much in most places. For phase 1. But yeah, so I figured he's probably licensed, he's probably the Southwest West Coast bounty hunter for the council.
Okay. Not just for the council, but I'm thinking
in general.
Legally.
Yeah, legal bounty
hunter. With Mundania,
Well, yeah, the civvies, the civvies need some help too, every so often. So yeah, that's what I kind of figured. So I figured he's licensed in the Southwest and the West Coast kind of a thing. And then maybe he has a weird licensing for whatever his home state town is.
Is it a licensing thing?
I don't know if it's a licensing thing or it's a I would assume you would have to have some type of license.
Some kind of paperwork.
Yeah, that makes you official. You can't just walk in and go, I'm a bounty hunter. Kind of a thing. Maybe you can. Maybe it is that easy. I don't know.
Therefore, this California Department of Insurance approved bail education training school is now offering a packet of bail jumper arrest docs containing 3 sets of bail jumper arrest doc samples.
Okay. So you got to do a little bit of training.
It's a pre-licensing course. So, okay, so there is a license.
I figured there had to be. Because you have access to people's legal crap, knowing what they're wanted for and stuff like that, which is not common knowledge, which is not you can research and find out stuff like that, but you've got to know more details to be a bounty hunter. So, but yeah, I mean, we'll figure out more along those lines for timeline and everything later. So I guess it's a good idea that you're going to have the doc a little bit longer.
I think so.
You had to do a lot of research. So for those of you that weren't with us with the last stream, where I left her at the 0 draft is we're at the midpoint of the story with it's like the first real big battle between the antagonistic forces and the two protagonists, or the two main protagonists, I guess I should say, Daisaku and Justicia. And I left her with magical crap that she had to like use all of her witchy expertise and knowledge about. So I left her with that, a scene that requires ice agents raiding a house so that they can like try and take this girl, kind of a thing. And like, well, that's really kind of what I left you with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But those are two really big things, and the story of course pivots on this point, like hinges on this point, and will pivot and shift to the next upcoming bits, which are very, very crucial because we're gonna like
we're upping the stakes.
Yeah, we're upping the stakes, and we're gonna be breaking stuff. Like we're gonna be breaking down like emotional walls and like doing like breakthroughs between the two protagonists, you know, and doing stuff like that. So that's where I was at. And let me go up here. Precious Cousins thinks that we are so fun.
Oh, yay.
Yeah, we appreciate it. So basically, that's the reason that we do these streams. Hell, any of us could write by ourselves. We do it all the time. We're writers. It's pretty lonely, pretty isolated most of the time. But the whole point of the streams is to have fun, be a little goofy, especially on my stream. Get a little weird.
Get a little weird.
Weird.
Let your freak flag fly.
Mm-hmm. And I got one hell of a freak flag, y'all. So... it comes in pretty sparkles and rainbow colors and like whatever I want it to come in, with little skeletons dancing on it.
Yay!
But yeah, like so yeah, that's like half the point of that's not even half the point. That's like 90% of why I do the live streams and stuff like that. Because Sako and I could write this book in tandem, collaboratively, just back and forth via Google Docs and like Facebook Messenger if we wanted to.
Yeah, we could, but we'd rather
do it with y'all.
Do it with you guys, and also share our experience regarding writing a book together.
And how we do it.
Our
processes are different. Even Sako and Mai's. It's not like when we were like, we want to write a book together. Let's write a book together. We had no idea what each person's process was like, except for that we were both
or style or anything like that. Like we just happened to ting.
Yeah. Like I haven't read Sako's stuff. Sako hasn't read my stuff.
No.
So we don't know our writer's voice, our style. The only thing we knew about each other is that we're both plotters, not pantsers. That was like,
well, we're like the same level of plotter and pantser.
Yeah,
like
we're planter.
Where we map out all the beats, and that's about where we stop. And, and which is where I'm trying to write new words, right? And
yeah, so like we are not plotters to the point like Savy and RK are plotters.
Yeah,
they are some hardcore plotters.
They are hardcore plotters.
Yeah, like nothing is surprising yet. Like Sako and I are still occasionally surprised by something. We're like, just before I started this midpoint scene, I was like, so how did our girl get released from custody? Why is she not home?
Yeah.
And so how are we going to get this beat point that we have out here? And like, and then we had to like, the last episode of this, we had to like sit there and go, okay, so how, why? And I went, I have an idea. And it was all because of pantsing idea. It just happened to work within our plotted idea. So
which is kind of where I'm at, where my pantsing better work with the plotting.
I'm sure it will. It'll be fun.
I'm sure it will.
We've had 0 instances where our freestyling it in between the beats has not worked.
Yeah.
So I think it's good.
So one thing that I'm going to explore a little bit with this scene is the idea that Japanese are often mistaken for Hispanic.
That is true.
And yeah, so
my friend gets mistaken all the time. My friend Joy, she's Japanese American. She gets mistaken all the time. And she's like, how the fuck are people mistaking me all the time for being Hispanic? And I was like, because all they glance at is the initial skin tone. Like, they don't take into consideration any other ethnic factors, and they're just plain ethnically ignorant.
They're just ethnically ignorant. But it's always like Central Americans that are mistaking my dad and I for Hispanic. Like,
well, I've never seen your dad.
My dad, seriously, like, he's hold on. I don't think we're going to be doing another sprint, so
we don't have to. But yeah, so I've never seen your dad. Now like, initially I knew that you had an ethnic heritage. I just wasn't sure. I thought it was Asian of some sort, but I wasn't sure exactly. I couldn't have said Chinese versus Japanese or
right. There's enough white in me to. Yeah,
it was like
water it down
enough that I can't quite make out what it is. I think it's Asian. I don't want to be rude until she decides to say, "Hey, I'm Asian American."
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. But yeah, but like your dad, I don't know.
Where's my photos?
But but my friend, she gets it all the time. Like, we go out places and like people start speaking Spanish to her, and she's like, I don't even speak Japanese, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah. She speaks enough to know that she was, to know growing up she was being yelled at, kind of a thing. But she never did really pick it up. And her parents went for the assimilation factor. So
where is the picture of my dad?
Yeah, you're gonna see Sako's daddy.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so
actually this is a pretty good example.
Aww, oh my God, so cute.
Right? So those are my parents. My mother, my German mother, and my Japanese father.
Ah, so cute. Such a wonderful blend.
Yeah.
I can't deny my heritage at all. You can look at me and make 2 guesses, and you can probably guess it right on the first try.
Gee, maybe you're white, and maybe you're Irish American.
There we go.
Yeah,
that's pretty much. So every so often somebody will ask if I'm Scottish American instead. Sure. So those are like the 2 guesses that everybody gets. Which is, it's fine. It is what it is. And yeah, my family is almost 100% Irish, except for there's just a smattering of German tossed in there, like blah, 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 long ago. And there's just a smattering of French tossed in there, not too terribly long ago. But that's like it. And then of the French and the German, if you trace those heritages back, those family trees back, there's more Irish in there.
Yeah.
So it was just like, I'm just like, I am what I am. I wanted to, growing up, I wanted more than anything to have a different, like, cultural heritage, like genetic heritage. I wanted so bad to have like something different and be, more diverse, more diverse, but it's okay because everybody wants to be a redhead anyway. So
right. The grass is always greener.
Yeah. But but I was fortunate enough that I did grow up with, while I did not grow up in a diverse town, and there was very little ethnic diversity in my hometown, we had a large migrant community that pretty much stayed isolated. They did a lot of our agricultural work and stuff like that. We had a fairly large African American community when the university was in session. But when it wasn't, then not so much.
Right.
And then we had like 4 or 5 Native American like sprinkled Native American in, not like full-on Native American families in town, and that was about it. But the good news was I was friends with everybody that was ethnic as much as I could be, so I could be like
an ally at least.
I could be an ally, so I could be an accomplice, so I could learn about other. And also, it was a bit of the rebellious thing because my family, unfortunately, has their prejudices.
Oh no.
And their racisms.
Mm-hmm.
So at a very early age, I went, you told me everybody's equal. So now this doesn't line up.
This doesn't line up. No, this doesn't add up at all.
This is broken logic, y'all. Kind of a thing. So I went out of my way to like befriend and like learn about other cultures and stuff. So it's just made me a good ally over the years.
Can we take a moment to appreciate that Precious Cousins finished the first draft of the book?
What? Hold on. Where? I just saw that. Holy shit. Moment of awed silence. Now, happy-go-lucky, screechy moment. First drafts are so impossible. Like,
first drafts are the hardest, and then revision is so much easier.
Yeah. You're never going to get there. That first draft feels like it's going to take forever, and you feel like you're never, ever, ever going to get there. And it is...
Writing the end, being able to write the end is so gratifying.
Every single time. I don't care how we're, like, I don't care that it looks...
I've only been able to do it once so far.
Yeah. Every single time it happens and I get to write the end on a first draft, I take a photo of that shit. I'm Instagramming it. I'm Facebooking it. I'm tweeting that shit out. I'm like, the end, y'all.
I got stickers that are like, first draft done, second draft done, third draft done. Like, so I can put them in my bullet journal when I'm going through my fast drafting phase.
Yes, that is so cool. I like that. I
Technically,
can use those stickers just so I can just like stick it on me, like on my cheek, and take like a selfie. First draft done. Click.
And it's like a picture of a wine glass.
Yeah, like empty wine bottle tipped over on its side. Empty wine glass. First draft done.
Yes.
That is so cool. Okay, so yes, so we're celebrating Precious Cousins. Congratulations on the first draft of the book being finished. Finally, Debbie got 104 words in, so a little more progress than before. Just churning along. It's all good. Audra B finished one out of 12 progress reports, or
I think that's what is being said. One
okay.
out of 12.
Yeah. So 1 out of 12 progress reports, which that's good. Progress reports are hard. Because there are a lot of things that you got to come up with and a lot of things you got to touch base on in progress reports. So Heather just finished her stream.
Hi, Heather.
Heather's stream is linked down below, y'all. Check out all that stuff. My other stuff's down there below too, like my Patreon and my merch channel and like my merch store and all of that stuff. But more importantly are the Authortubers that are all out down there. And Heather is down there. I don't have people's dates and times and like stuff like that down there, but
that varies drastically.
We pop up. Some people don't have regularly scheduled times. Some people just do pop-ups like Cordy. She's amazing at it. She just is there. And it's just like, wow, Cordy, larger than life.
Yeah.
So Heather's not sure how long she's going to be here because of that. That's okay. We are wrapping up anyway, Heather.
Yep.
Audra's mom is English, Scottish, Irish, Swedish, with drops of French and German. Dad is Lithuanian and Pennsylvanian Dutch.
My mom is Pennsylvania Dutch, so that's where the German comes in.
Yep.
She had to go to school to learn English because they spoke German at home.
Because German, yeah. The Pennsylvania Dutch, it's pretty orthodox with the German as the first language. So the community I grew up in, because we were so agricultural, we had a lot of Amish and Mennonite. And
Sure.
the Mennonites and the Amish, especially with the Amish, their first language is German.
German. Or Deutsch, yeah.
Or Deutsch, yeah. Which was cool, but it was like, it could get confusing in town because it's not like there was that big of a German community otherwise in my very Midwestern Indiana town.
Right.
The thing. Let me see here. Heather says that she is a lot like I am, have a lot of Irish, English, and Scots as well as Welsh. Yeah, I don't have any English. I don't have any Scot. I would love to have some Scottish heritage in me too. Absolutely.
I suspect there's Welsh somewhere down the line because my maiden name is Davis. And it's a Welsh name.
Yeah, it's a very Welsh name.
It's a very Welsh name. So it had to have come from somewhere.
Yeah. That's how we got the Brown, was the German. That's the little smattering of German heritage there. That's how we got the Brown last name. Audra says, yes, one of 12. I have 12 students as a special ed teacher. Which I
my gosh. My heart goes out to you.
You rock. You
are doing the hard work. You
have won the patience of a saint. I know because I went to school to be a special needs teacher. So I peer tutored. I'm going to go over y'all because I'm going to tell a story. I peer tutored all through high school. Absolutely loved it. So I did. I escorted special needs students to regular classes in an effort to, streamline them and get them working with normalized peers and stuff like that, and doing homework and stuff like that. But I also worked with them in class, isolated in their special needs class as well. And loved it so much that I ended up, that's what I wanted to go to school for. Learned I did not have the patience to be an actual teacher. Not because of the kids. Not because of the kids. I really loved the kids. I couldn't stand the fucking parents. Like, not taking recommendations of experts and just like refusing expert advice on how to better educate their children and give them a better way of life, a better means of socialization, of communication, of all of that stuff. So you have the patience of a saint. For one, you have to have extra patience just to deal with special needs children, period. 2, students of any kind require patience because it's developmental stages, brains aren't fully formed and functional, etc. And 3, dealing with the bureaucracy, the lack of funding, and the parents. So you're awesome.
You are awesome.
You're welcome, Heather. And Davies and Dewey are great Welsh names. So, last name is supposed to be Lithuanian, but it got changed to an English one in the 1920s by my great-grandfather, who was a first generation, which happened a lot.
That happens a lot. I think that's why we ended up with Davis.
If you follow my Brown line back, it was Braun. And it got changed to Brown just as easier, I guess. It was Americanized or whatever. Which happens. So Audra says, yes, parents and paperwork, bane of the existence. It's pretty much the bane of any teacher's existence, but on top of that, there's like heaps and mounds more for special needs. Because so many moving components in special needs education.
Yeah.
So, okay, y'all, we have gotten way past the end of the stream, but that's okay because we're having a good time. Heather says, yes, I've heard of parents like that, parents that refuse to take expert advice. I would like to point out that Heather herself does have a special needs son, amazing kiddo. Kyle, he has popped on to streams occasionally with us and like chatted with us a bit, and even done Authortube karaoke with us. So at some point, we do need to get back doing Authortube karaoke. I had to find the time. That's a problem. And Audra did gen ed for the past 3 years, switched to SPED this year, was a para for 2 years before being a teacher. Here's some good experience. Some hands-on experience right there. Okay, so we are past the end of the stream for tonight, y'all. I hope everybody was super productive. I am going to go ahead and let Ms. Sako / Cass / half of Victoria do her outro now.
Howdy, Howlers. It's Sako Tumi, also known as Cass Voit, also half of Victoria Fun Rock. And I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things. So if you are looking to market yourself as an author, or you're looking to be a witch or a witch, please drop by my channel. I would love to see you.
Yay! She is an awesome collaborative partner, an amazing author tuber in general. She creates a ton of great content. She's there to support everybody under the sun, and she loves to have company on her channel. So
I sure do.
In the chat, come co-host with her on a stream, come just do whatever, have coffee with her in the morning and chat about the most random shit possible. So y'all know me, I am BC Brown, and this is my channel, BC Brown Books, where we get weird about words in the ways that only writers can by writing them and talking about writing them, and then getting weird about writing them, and then getting weird about other shit just because we can. And as I have said before, you can find me at all the social medias at BC Brown Books. That's pretty much where you can find me for everything important, at least, in my book. Pun intended. I have that Patreon thing. I have a merchandise channel thing. You should totally subscribe to me if you have not, because while I do these regularly scheduled Thursday night streams, occasionally I do pop up and do random pop-up streams every so often, especially when I can't sleep or when it's too hot, which happens a lot in Arizona. Well, not this time of year. Although we are having record highs this week, which sucks.
Yes.
1 week of cold weather, of which, from what I understand, all of you, shut up. It was cold blast. Of which I understand all of you back eastward were having really terrible weather, and that's why we were getting such nice weather, cold weather, early. I'm so sorry for y'all, but I enjoyed my week of wearing sweaters.
Yay!
In 70-degree temperatures. So.
Holy cannoli.
It was cold here, but okay, so it might have been 70 during the day, but it was like 40 at night.
Yes, I believe you. The desert can get cold at night.
It can get cold as shit at night. There is always a 30-degree temperature shift in the fall and winter into the spring between day and night if you've never been in the desert. And it's cold as shit. So anyway, do the subscription thing, join my Patreon, go to my merchandise channel where you can get fun things like mugs that say weird as fuck or I get weird about words. And join me on Thursdays here on my channel for live streams and stuff like that. More importantly, also join Sako on Mondays, which we also do 9 p.m. streaming on Mondays, of which we do more writing sprints like this. And we work on our collaborative project Flambeau together, which you all got to see the very first debut unveiling of the prototype working cover for it as well. So thank you all so much for joining us tonight. I love getting weird with all of you. Not stick around, but stick with us while we do this writing thing together and while we just share our writing experiences.